Welcome everybody to HGC's Spring Fling Showcase. We are here at beautiful Sugar Creek Metro Park, and we just can't wait to see what these trails have to offer.
That's right, Jake. We're going to see some incredible talent and some fantastic nature, so buckle up. You just might learn a thing or two.
You know, fellas, I say we get started and see what this place has to offer.
What's up, guys? First up, we have this big, beautiful white oak tree known as one of the Three Sisters. This baby stands at 140 feet tall and dates back to the 1400s. But luckily, you don't have to go back that far to catch our first guest, Tyler Nichols.
Oh, the hardwood floor is worn where she lays down beside me as I slip away. One eye fast asleep, one eye staring up at me, and I know that my girl's getting old. I drive the truck my father drove, and the miles are really starting to show. Only the right side of the steering wheel's worn, 'cause he always hangs his arm out the door. And the one thinks he's the warning, saying that would cost the wear will someday breathe the air up there. That old leather chair in the corner's worn away. Only the silhouette of a soul remains. Though we laid him down in the ground, I can feel him walking around. Oh, the days they go by slowly, for you know it, you'll be down in the
Hello, and welcome to this luscious tall grass prairie, one of my favorite places in the park. It used to be home to roaming buffalo many years ago before the land was settled. But if you look closer, you could see our next act, Beasley, performing their song, Millennium Baby. Take it away.
Millennium baby, you're my living proof. My love is the furthest from the truth. I'm petty and reckless. My heart is a bleeding mess. I'm sick to my stomach too, 'cause I'm so in love with the things you do. Millennium baby, the world feels so new. My earliest memories, all history to you. You'll never see clearly what's near and dear to me. I've tried to get through to you, but I'm so in love with the things you do. Put away that new dress. I don't need a new source of distress. Millennium baby, I can't seem to recall. Did I skip the trip before the fall? I wanted to feel good, but nobody thinks it should. I wanna be rid of you, but I'm so in love with the things you do. So put away that new dress. I don't need a new source of distress. Give it time, girl, I'll give you my best.
It didn't used to be this way. All those years, only to come to this.
He's in the house.
Coming this summer to a screen near you. A Robert Kirk Douglas film.
Now we're going to take a break from being outside to welcome on a very special guest. He is a longtime broadcaster, radio show host on WUDR. You might know him famously from his show, Your Tuesday Afternoon Alternative. We have the doctor in the house, Art Jipson, AKA Dr. J. How are you today, sir?
I'm very good, Jake. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, no problem at all. I guess we'll start off with that nickname, the doctor. So how did you get that moniker, Dr. J, and kind of how did it stick as your kind of radio show persona?
That's a great question. I'm a college professor, and so I have my PhD, and so the students often, look for nicknames for professors, and I always try to be affable. And so a lot of students were calling me Art, and they didn't feel comfortable calling me Art. So students were like, I'm just going to call you Dr. J. And I don't know who that brilliant student was who did that. I'm like, I like the sound of that. Now, I'm old enough to remember that was a label given to Julius Erving, right? The famous basketball player. But it just was a nickname students gave me, and it kind of stuck. And I decided that I really like it. And so started doing radio in kind of the fall, October, November of 2004. And what started out as the School of Rock with Dr. J.
Nice.
So I kept the whole thing that the students called me, but I wanted to do something, besides just playing music. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I told stories? And so drawing a line, in terms of how different music or songwriters or different kinds of styles influence one another. And after a while, I realized it was becoming a little didactic. My wife was, you should focus on local music much more. Why don't you rebrand the show around that? Because that's what you were so excited about, not lecturing on the radio, which is probably boring to everybody, or at least partially boring. So it became the School of Rock with Dr. J, became Your Tuesday Afternoon Alternative. Forgive me, I tried to give you a walk through the history, as well as how the show kind of evolved, as well as why do people call you Dr. J?
No, that terrific. I loved it. My next question was, how did you get your start in the DJ booth? So you already knocked that one out. You're already getting ahead of the game. Perfect. So yeah, you mentioned you've been hosting this show specifically at UD for about 17 years now, if I have my research
dear Lord,
correct.
isn't that scary?
Yeah. But I wanted to ask what keeps you motivated and inspired to cover local music, because you're quite the martyr for local music.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your kind words. I am passionate about new music. I really despise when people say there's nothing new out there. Right? Or someone will say there's nothing good out there. And I think nothing could be further from the truth. There's great music released every week. I mentioned earlier that I have this evangelical kind of interest. I want to introduce people to something maybe they haven't heard. I am so happy when someone says, I heard this song on your show, and now it's my new favorite song. Or I heard this artist on your show, and now I went out and bought their record. I'm like a small child. I make a high gleeful squeal or squeak. I am so, in all seriousness, I'm really happy with that. That's the mission of the show, to connect people to music that maybe they don't know is out there. But local bands, they need people who are passionate about this. And I'm not the only one, right? There's Don Thrasher writing for the Dayton Daily News. I'm not even the first person at WUDR to do a local show. So I may not have gotten there first, but I don't think it's a race. I don't think it's a competition. But what I do have is an awful lot of passion. And what I do have is two frequencies and as terrestrial signals and an internet stream where I can promote local music. You know, people don't recognize that Dayton has a long musical history and tradition that is critically important. And so I know the students roll their eyes when I get really messianic about that, but it is interesting to know the city you're living in right now has had as many big bands as a lot of cities that are much bigger than Dayton. And so to be connected to that, I think is important.
So rounding out my last question here, I'm definitely asking this for anybody who's interested, but you know, say there's some mustached man in a band who wants to get his music played on your show. How would they go about that? Not asking for selfish reasons at all. Just any band out there who might be interested in be played on your Tuesday afternoon alternative. How would they go about that?
First off, Jake, you should never apologize for advocating for your band. First off, I want to say that. Secondly, should that mysterious stranger want to get their music played on the show, or a mysterious band, or anyone, send me an email, drjytaa@gmail.com. But I also have to say that the Dayton community, right? I'm not from Dayton. I'm not. The Dayton community has been unbelievably gracious. They've been far more supportive than a nerdy, music-obsessed college professor who thought that he would have a little radio show that maybe a couple people might listen to, right? They have been beyond supportive, beyond gracious, beyond kind. It's a gift I can never truly pay back. And so the only way I can think to pay it back, because I'm of a limited imagination, is to promote this music with a zeal that I'd like to think borders on either insufferable or constant. So you can take your pick, negative or positive there. You musicians, the community has been so kind and supportive of me. The least I can do is turn around and try to pay you back.
That's awesome. I mean, I couldn't have put a bow on our conversation any better, Dr. J. There you have it. Always so supportive of the local Dayton scene, local music scene as a whole. So yes, make sure you tune in, everybody out there, to WUDR Flyer Radio every Tuesday from 3 to 6 to hear Dr. J and his infinite music wisdom playing you some great local Dayton tunes. So Dr. J, Art, thank you so much for your time. I couldn't have thanked you enough for making it out to the show.
Oh, you are very welcome. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Art, thank you so much. We're going to go to commercial real quick, and we'll be back with some more great musical acts. Stay tuned.
Pizzeranos, an Italian-inspired pizzeria right in your hometown.
With a loving touch and generic ingredients, we make a pie that's sure to satisfy the family.
A generous amount of locally made sauce,
And a heaping portion of mozzarella cheese.
our team knows that quality takes time.
Hey, it's done. And remember,
If it's not Pizzeranos,
then it's a bad day.
I'm standing in sparkling Sugar Creek, a great natural resource that brings water and life to the area. This place is home to guys like salamanders, crawdads, and more. Just remember to not take them home. Next up for our showcase is a great act by the name of Kyleen Downs, performing her song, Tiny Little Table. Take it away.
sat down, had a drink at the little tiny table. And she came in, said, what can I say to make you have a better day? What can I say? And I said, come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down with me. I might have some big plans, I didn't write them down. And I might understand when you say you don't have the time to get out of town, to get out of town, to get out of town. And I said, come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down with me. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. And I said, come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, come on, sit down. And I said, come on, sit down.
I taught the weeping willow how to cry, and I showed the clouds how to cover of a clear blue sky. And the tears that I cried for that woman are gonna flood you, big river, and I'm gonna sit right here until I die. But I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota, and it tore me up every time I heard her draw a slow crawl. Then I heard my dream went back downstream before it didn't have a port, and I followed you, big river, when you called. Then you took me to St. Louis later on, down the river. Freda said she's been here, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. I found the trail in Memphis, but she just walked up the block. She listened to our crowds, and she went on down alone.
sir.
Lost it in the line, not responsible for my kicks. I cut my teeth on vinyl records in the dark, working on tricks. Haven't been there since college, haven't been there in a while. Haven't really played the part, cause that's just not my style. Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Lost it in the dark, haven't written too many licks. I've lost the gas while feeling good. Can you help me get that fixed? If it's not a secret, can you tell me where you go? There are just a couple of things I just gotta know. Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? I lost it in the dark, haven't written too many licks. I've lost the gas while feeling good. Can you help me get that fixed? If it's not a secret, can you tell me where you go? There are just a couple of things I just gotta know. Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go?
Thank you all so much for joining us for our Spring Fling showcase. We have had an absolute ball, and I hope you did as well. Make sure to get out to your local Five Rivers Metro Park for some great nature and great times.
Absolutely, Jake. I think we've all had a great time checking out this talent and this beautiful nature, and we all learned a thing or two.
So thanks for joining us, everybody, and get home safe.